Money Talks.
Money Talks.
Money Talks. Money Talks.
Do you want to take control of your finances and stay ahead? Join a host of investment management and finance professionals every Monday at 4:30 p.m. right here for Money Talks with CFA Society Nigeria.
Money Talks with CFA Society Nigeria. Let's talk about money.
Money Talks.
Money Talks.
Money Talks. Money Talks. Money Talks with CFA Society Nigeria. Let's talk about money.
Hello everyone and welcome to Money Talks. Money Talks is brought to you by CFA Society Nigeria and it's a financial literacy program. Smart Uzechi is my name. You can call me Captain Smart and you will be financially correct. My guest on the program this evening is Faithful T. Bob-Manuel, CFA, FRM. Bob, as we like to call him on the program this evening, is a Chartered Financial Analyst, CFA. He's a Certified Financial Risk Manager, FRM, and the CEO and co-founder of Roja. I'm going to be asking him why Roja, because Roja in Nigeria means something. He's an experienced finance tutor, an active level 3 exam grader for his CFA Institute, and a member of the board of trustees of Gen Z Fi Africa, one of Nigeria's fastest growing youth-focused non-profit organizations. With over 6 years of core banking experience, Bob has developed deep expertise in risk and treasury management, having played a pivotal role in establishing the treasury departments of 2 banks that have since attained national status. He holds a Bachelor of Science degree in microbiology. Very curious about that. Microbiology, and I say Chartered Financial Analyst. And that's from the Benson Idahosa University, where he graduated as valedictorian of his class. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome this multi-talented man who has traversed various fields, from science to social sciences, from pure science to social sciences, and he is now doing Roja. Let's welcome to the studio this evening Faithful T. Bob-Manuel, and let's add CFA FRM. Good evening to you, Faithful, and welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, Captain Smart. That was a very nice introduction.
It's so good to have you.
It's so good to be
good
here.
to see you. I'm quite curious. You know, your CV. I mean, we have a lot that you're going to have to clarify here. There's Roja, there's Gen Z Fi, and all of that, and of course, from microbiology to being a chartered financial analyst and all of that. We're going to have a great evening with Faithful. This evening, we're going to be discussing financial red flags and how to spot them. Yeah, financial red flags and how you can spot them. So sit back, relax. Perhaps you can get yourself some popcorn and a drink there. When we come back from this break, we shall be talking to Faithful about financial red flags and how you can spot them. Please do join us again.
We are professionals. We are impact driven. We are CFA Society Nigeria, a member society of the CFA Institute Global Network of Societies. Our mission is to promote the highest standard of practice in the Nigerian financial services industry and provide a vibrant community for our members. The CFA Charter signals the holders' commitment to professional excellence. As thought leaders, we collaborate with stakeholders to ensure adherence to ethical standards, better education for professionals, and to build market integrity. We are the leading voice for advocacy in the finance and investment industry in Nigeria. To partner with us or become our member, visit us at cfasocietynG.org for more details. CFA Society Nigeria, making finance a force for good.
Money Talks.
Money Talks.
Money Talks. Money Talks. Money Talks with CFA Society Nigeria. Let's talk about money.
Welcome back to Money Talks. It's brought to you by CFA Society Nigeria. Captain Smart is right here, and I'm joined this evening by faithful T. Bob-Manuel. I will be talking about financial red flags and how to spot them. And you can join the conversation anytime by calling us on the number 0707-218-6998. That's right, 0707-218-6998. You can also call us on 0802-685-7134. That's 0802-685-7134, or you can call 0705-161-7536. You can send us messages on WhatsApp 0817-313-6193. You can also send us a voice note, but keep them short and straight to the point, actually, as we go straight now into the subject. You can check out the website www.cfasocietyng.org and get more information about CFA Society Nigeria and the previous editions of this program. You can find them there as a podcast. So, Faithful, let's just get into it. When we say financial red flags, what exactly are we talking about?
Well, when you say red flags, we're talking about warning signs. What are the things you look out for that, you know, could be indicative of something tricky going on? So, warning signs in financial habits or offers, for example, that are too risky, misleading, or harmful. Generally, I'm just here to help, you know, listeners identify the triggers that will make them say, something fishy is going up on here.
Oh, wow, that's interesting, because I know that every now and then Nigerians are scammed, so to speak, you know, because they ignore these red flags or they are unable to identify them. So I'm very happy that this have come by to do that this evening. So why is it important for individuals and families to learn how to recognize these things you have called red flags?
Well, we all know how difficult it is to survive in this country.
Very difficult.
And having gone through all that to earn money, you really want to protect it, right? You want to keep it as safe as you can from the scammers, and also to keep your reputation intact so you don't have bad debt, you don't have regrets, and you don't make financial bad decisions. You know, so in our general lingo, we say prevention is better than cure, right? So that's why it's so important. So we know how to prevent these red flags before they become more than flags.
Okay, so let's get into it right now. Faithful, what are some of these common red flags in investments, particularly because we just saw CBEC?
That was bad.
And a lot of people lost their money. And I can tell you, if you have CBEC Pro Max, people are going to still lose their money. So let us know those common red flags in investment offers that people should actually be able to identify and quickly avoid.
Well, the first and most obvious one is guaranteed returns. Right? This is an academic concept, but it's also very realistic. No one should guarantee returns. No one should accept to receive guaranteed high returns with having to do little or no, having to face little or no risk, right? That's a huge red flag. And that's something that, you know, resonates with people that draw them into schemes like this. Another thing is lack of clear information. When there's no a lot of, I mean, Nigeria is packed with a lot of regulatory bodies that can guide you in terms of financial applications and, you know, the places you go for investments. And when you look out for this regulatory oversight and they aren't there, it should be a huge question mark, you know. And these are the obvious ones that should stick out to Nigerians and warn them of schemes like that.
But when CBEX came around, people said they saw some certificates on their walls. You know, when they saw, these people are they're certified by the Corporate Affairs Commission. So they believe that if the CAC can actually certify these people, we can do business with them. So when you're saying these regulatory bodies, can you break it down for the people who are listening there?
I don't want to put the regulatory bodies on the spot.
Okay.
But let's put the professional bodies on the spot. That's us, the CFA charter holders, the FRM charter holders. I mean, we are upholding a very high standard of ethics in the industry. And I wouldn't expect a CFA and FRM to, associate with such. These are things that people should look out when analyzing investments. They need to look at who's behind the scheme, what's their experience, what are their track record. I really do not want to lean too much on track record, because I've seen people use track record to trick users further. That schemes using track record to trick them further, because they've consistently paid out and are promising to pay out some more. But the professional bodies out there, talk to professionals. We love our job. I'm passionate about my job. I would advise anyone who's confused, but that's why this event is happening on Inspiration FM, so they wouldn't be easily tricked by red flags anymore.
That's right. You can join the conversation. You can ask Faithful a question in case you want to make an investment now, and it's looking like there's a red flag there. So you can ask him. He said he can advise you. While he's here, he can advise you for free. But when he leaves here, I cannot guarantee that his advice will be for free. So if you want advice, financial advice, if you want to make an investment so you don't get your fingers burnt, you can call us on the telephone now, 0707 218 6998. You can also call us on 0700 923 923 923 or call 0802 685 7134. You can send us messages on WhatsApp 0817 313 6193. Once it is about finance, you need to get guidance, or you want to get an insight before you commit your money, you can call this program. This is your best bet, actually, to get that advice that you need. So as we go along, Faithful, you talked about no one should be able to guarantee returns like that. Sometimes people come around and say that what this investment company is promising me looks too good to be true. Yeah. So let's look at it now. Are these too good to be true returns always a red flag? And if they are, how can you tell the difference between a legitimate investment opportunity and one that is a potential scam? Because sometimes there's a thin dividing line. Exactly. Yeah. They speak your language, Yeah.
Well, for a legit opportunity, I would say they may offer high returns, right? Because not all opportunities are, low earning, but they have clear risk and full transparency. They're not going to hoard any information from you, and you'll be very clearly aware of the risk you're taking, and it will be very clearly articulated. But when it comes to scams, right, they will sell certainty, they will sell secrecy, speed. They want you to make a quick decision. They put you under some pressure. You feel like you're running out of time. Now, mind you, investment offers are timed. They're not open forever, yeah? But, you do not really have, with scams, right, you do not really have enough information to make the decision within that time you're given. So it intensifies the pressure. And that's a key tool for them to use to, try to convince their prospects.
Really? Well, that's it. So the number to call, 0707 218 6998. Or you can call us up on 0802 685 7134. If you have also been scammed before, you can share your experience with us. Yes. And let the people know there, how that had happened. Just let us know. That's why we have put out this program there, so people can learn and not make the mistakes of other people. So, Faithful, are there red flags in business partnerships or financial contracts, that people often overlook?
Well, that's why there are red flags. They're everywhere, in relationships, in finance, in business. But yes, a lot of business red flags, especially today where everyone is empowered or feels like they have enough information to go into business. And there are the other ones who know that person A is not well informed about the market or the business or the system, and they want to take advantage of them. And that's typically what we are seeing in CBEX and the likes of those, but this is in the business space. And in this kind of case, I would advise to not go into contracts with vague terms and agreements that are not very binding, because people tend to take advantage of clauses that aren't clear in certain agreements. Even financial firms, these are their fail-safe sort of to trick users at the end of the day, just like a backdoor at the back of the contract. And another red flag in business I can think of right now is having a one-sided, like when the risk is focused on one side, you feel like you might be blindsided in certain cases, and that's a typical business red flag. Several of them actually.
All right, we have messages coming in here. This is Jude. Jude says, thank you, Faithful, for the insight you're sharing, but let me ask, how is it that people like CBEX are able to gather all those amounts of money from the unsuspecting public, and yet nobody is able to catch up with them until they have duped people with so much amount of money? So that's it. Because I too will be wondering, if they are not legitimate, how can they function for that long time, get money from people? They get most of this money through banks. In the end, you say that people have lost their money.
Well, there's a way these systems have evolved right now. I remember before now that we can talk of CBEX, we've had MMM, we've had the likes of, a series of them that have come before this one. And each one that resurfaces builds on the loop, like the blind spots of the previous one. So if the other one was not selling track records, this one would try to show some transactions, some track records, some volumes on board. You see the numbers, you see the growth, and before you even catch up with yourself, you're an advocate for the program. It happens like that sometimes. and it's because of we're in the tech space, and the tech space is evolving rapidly, and they are really as well evolving the illegitimate aspects of the tech space as well. And I wouldn't want to ease the blame on the regulators by saying that they didn't do well, or they did well or didn't. So I'm trying not to go the regulatory way, but it's easy for the finance professionals. I don't want to call them professionals. The finance engineers. Yeah, it's easy for them to engineer and restructure things to look very, very, very appealing. That's one thing. Let's not underestimate that fact.
Yeah, because it's not possible to scam people in finance if you don't know about finance.
Yeah, so you have to be somewhat of
knowledgeable in that.
Yeah, the unethical one of us.
That's why people have to get CFA so that they don't scam people. Really,
and be grounded in ethics.
Yeah. And the reason some people go into some of these things is because one of the reasons is because they just want to live beyond their means. They want to live beyond their means. They want to spend money that they have not earned, actually. So can you just walk us through some warning signs that, you see this guy that you're seeing here, he's just living beyond his means? Because you hear them say, if you invest this amount of money, some of them will say by 2 p.m. They might be talking to you at 8 a.m. and they say by 2 p.m. you have 50% return on your money, and you'll be wondering, what kind of business are they going to do in a few hours to have that kind of return? They are just simply living beyond their means. What are the warning signs that an individual is actually living beyond his means?
Well, one of the easiest warning signs that an individual is living beyond his means is the one I can think of is living for appearances, for example. The culture now is showing up and making sure when you show up, you show out. And that's expensive. Some people have to borrow to sustain that lifestyle. And people who take credit and pay credit with credit, especially when they can almost assure you that they would pay you back in a certain time, probably because they have access to other credit. And this breeds poor credit in our system, and that's a huge red flag. Living for appearances, constantly borrowing to maintain that lifestyle that you've put yourself on. They say fake it till you make it, right?
Yeah.
So you're faking it, but you're spending a lot of money to fake it. And when that goes on without the backdrop of a very stabilized savings or emergency fund, then that's just a red flag. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. In case you just joined us now, have you been scammed before? Do you know somebody who's been scammed? Are you seeing a red flag? Is there an investment that is being sold to you now that, as we say in local parlance, your mind no dey carry am? Your spirit is fighting you for that investment. You're not sure and you want some clarifications. You can call us on the telephone now. The number is 0707 218-6998. That's the number. You can also call 0700-923-923-923 or 0802-685-7134. Okay, this is Frank. Frank is writing us from Sherry, and Frank says, thank you, Mr. Faithful. He says, so now that I've been scammed, what remedies do I have?
Well, most of us have been scammed before. In fact, before I came to this radio station, I was having a chat with a friend I know was scammed.
Wow.
And I wanted motivation for this conversation. And the goal is to find a way to, come to terms with the fact that you were in fact scammed. I think acceptance is the most difficult part, because we all feel like we are so smart, we got it all figured out, we saw the record, we saw the numbers, and most of the people I've interacted with who's been scammed before, they still don't believe they were scammed. They still feel like, CBEX was a financial. I'm like, okay, we'll wait for their next financial report then. And acceptance is the first part, because when you accept, you can now re-motivate yourself to do business, and look for more legitimate ways to grow your money.
Okay, that's another message here. It seems that today is SMS day. Thank you, Mr. Faithful. What can the government do to actually deter these fraudsters from robbing Nigerians of their hard-earned money? And this is Joy saying, I'm on the road. What can the government do? Because it looks like each time people come around, these fraudsters, they put out something there, and Nigerians go there, they are scammed, and then we'll talk about that, they announce the numbers, and then we'll wait for the next one. Because I can tell you, there'll be another CBEX.
Of course.
Yes. So what can the government do? What measures can they put in place there to ensure that these things don't happen as often as they do?
Well, one of the things they've already done and are already doing is increasing regulations. I'm in the fintech space, and they're literally pouncing down on tech companies, trying to know what they're doing, get more information, more documentations from them, and get them to comply with a lot more licensing requirements. And that's a step on their part to better the situation, but it's up to you now, because despite having all of the government interventions, you have to be able to spot the red flags, and the government here will do their bit by increasing regulations, by having consumer protection, and and by the way, the government is doing a lot to protect investors or recover something in some way from CBEX for investors who they are not complicit as social media or the general populace would think. They're actually doing more to protect, but systems always have leaks, and these things do not identify on the surface as scams. They are packaged to look,
very
appealing and tantalizing.
But since the world, this is a global village, if people set up systems to defraud people, isn't it supposed to be easy to catch up with them? I mean, CBEX, they originated from somewhere, right? Are there not timestamps or footprints digitally with which we can trace CBEX to wherever they are, even if they are in the moon.
I like that. That's a good question. I'm sure there is. I'm sure those measures are being put in place. I saw a newspaper publication last week about a court hearing or something in that nature. So CBEX can be found. I can always assure you.
That's encouraging for people who lost money there.
I feel very bothered, Mr. Captain. But yeah, they will be found, and potential scammers. This is just a word out there that you will be found, and you will be arraigned.
All right. Finally, I'll just take one more SMS here. This one says, Mr. Faithful, thank you very much for this expose. And it says, please tell us clearly, if I enter into any investment house, what regulatory approvals should I be looking out for before I commit my funds? This is the last one we're going to take. Yeah.
It's a very nice question. Unfortunately, this question has a lot you should look out because investment houses vague. We need to know, okay, what kind of investment house, what regulations are they working with, what are their financials, what do they look like, who's promoting it, who are they, what do they have, what are their qualifications, what professional bodies are backing them, what ties do they have. You said it yourself, it's a global village, so what have they done before, what's their track record, what's their track record in terms of documented, audited, verified, by independent parties, published if possible. All of the things we've discussed today, basically, how much pressure are they putting on you? How much transparency are they giving to you? So it's an exhaustive list. Walking into an investment house, I would also, the lawyers say it a lot, seek counsel, they sing it like a song. Yeah. But with us financial professionals, we don't say it enough. Seek counsel. That's what I'll say to this person.
Wow. Yeah. Because I know one of the MOs of scammers is that they don't give you time.
Yeah.
They're always rushing you.
Yeah.
One time I was scammed. They didn't give me time. They called between when they called me on the telephone and when I actually did the transfer, it was just within minutes.
Wow.
So that time that they think you want to start making phone calls to try to verify, they're calling you,
so
back to back. They don't want you to call anybody. They don't want you to ask any question. They can call you. Like they called me. I said, "Oh, use my in-laws phone." To say, she's in the hospital, that is surgery they want to do now. She'll pay money into a bank account, And the person sounded like my sister-in-law. Pay some money there. Okay, because I'm in an emergency. You have to pay money into this person's account. Before I could think of calling her husband, another call came in. Oh, have you paid the money? And so I didn't think of anything.
I can imagine.
After I paid, the family members started calling who were also scammed.
Oh my.
So people just have to take time. Take your time. Don't rush.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's going to help.
Yeah.
Wow. There's been some conversation we've had here.
Yeah.
We had some conversation. Thank you very much. This is Faithful Bob-Manuel. He's been the one talking to us on the program this evening. Faithful Bob-Manuel. I said I was going to ask you about Roger. What's Roger?
You said the name is familiar.
Yeah, Roger. Is it the Roger on the road?
Is it Roger when you Roger someone? Really? When you borrow from someone.
Oh,
yeah, so it's a P2P lending application.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, not the other one, because Roger is
Roger. I want to know the one you're referring to.
Roger, like when they stop you on the road, they say Roger me.
So that's dash me.
Okay.
Roger me down south is borrow me.
Borrow me.
Give you back.
Oh, wow.
Roger me. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Bob-Manuel, Faithful Bob-Manuel is the co-founder and CEO of Roger. Thank you so much for talking to us this evening. And that's our package for today. Join us again next time on this same channel for a fresh package of the program. Till that time, keep making finance a force for good. Captain Smart is